Hey, yo, hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sacred and Profane podcast with me, Neptar Grace. First things first, this is for mature audiences only. So, if you are not 18 years old or older, please do all of us a favor and leave this conversation right now. Disregard quotes, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that. I do have to remind you, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. The whole thing's a trigger warning. Okay, that's taken care of. We have Gibo out here for gift, Fehu for wealth, Laguz for water, but the kind of water that like cleanses you. So I always think of waterfall and anything when I see Laguz, and we have Othila for ancestors out here. So this is really big energy. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this episode of the podcast. It's actually been kind of in the background for a couple of weeks now. But the more I dive into currency with you guys, like dive into how currency counts, that the only real currency is your energy, that's the game that's always been running in the background. You just been intentionally kept ignorant. So you would then ignorantly squander your currency, leaving you weak and powerless in the real world. So the more we dive into that, the more I have to come back around to the conversation we're going to have in this episode. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, when I talk about currency, go check out the episode called Currency Counts and then Currency Counts Too. Okay, the basis of the conversation we're in is that everything is energy. Energy is everything. And so your energy is your currency. It is. And you can use the analogy of an electrical circuit if you are into quantum physics like I am, you can use whatever analogy you want to. You grown, you do what you need to do to make it make sense for you. But the bottom line is we're really clear that when we do something, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's taking our dog for a walk or showing up at work on time, that takes energy. We're also aware that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can change form. It can change form. So when you go walk your dog and you come back and go, oh, I'm so tired, or you work a full week of work, oh, I'm so tired, your energy went somewhere. Your tiredness is you being present to that release, that loss of energy, okay? Supposedly, when you go to work, you're exchanging that energy for a paycheck. I say supposedly because tell the truth. How many of you feel like you're actually being adequately compensated for the energy that you are expressing? But let's not go there. Not yet, not now. Okay? Um, you know, when you walk your dog, you know what the exchange is. Your little dog don't pee on your floor at home, and that's a good thing. Okay? The underpinnings of this conversation around currency. Because so now we've talked about investing your energy. How do you invest your energy? Okay, like if currency, you think of if you use the analogy of money, if you come back to money as the allegory, you invest your money so that you always have money, right? So that you always have money when you need it, you invest it. Well, investing your energy is very similar. You want to invest your energy in something that's going to give back to you when you need it. Okay, so that's currency counts, that episode. And then in currency counts too, we talked about, okay, you've invested energy. Now you still have energy left over. That's, like your paycheck, right? You invest a little of your paycheck, you pay your bills, you have a little bit left over. It's like that. Currency counts too. We talked about, well, how do you spend that energy? Well, answer's kind of easy. You want to spend your energy just like you invest your energy on something that's going to have you cultivate or generate more energy. I mean, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. And that's not to say you can't spend your energy on something frivolous, like a night of Netflix and Oreos. And that is to say that you don't want to spend all your currency on watching Netflix and eating Oreos. You don't want to invest all your currency there because what you're going to get on your return is a life that looks like what you do is sit around and watch movies and eat cookies. So you're going to have that waistline, you're going to have that bank account. That's what you're going to harvest if you sow those kind of seeds. If you put that out, that's what you're going to get back. Okay, everything we're talking about is based on quantum physics, quantum mechanics, universal law. Spin the wheel, pick a term, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I don't care. It's all the same thing, just said a different way. My job is to have you begin to get how critical it is for you at this juncture in time to become extremely, and I do mean hyper intentional about how you invest and spend your currency. That's my job. Okay. Now, the short answer to that is your thoughts. And I'm going to be honest with you. The reason this has been in the background for 2 weeks is because I honestly have not wanted to do this episode. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I did not want to have this conversation. It is such a rabbit hole. It's such a rabbit hole. There's so much power here, and I promise you, I haven't met a human that will actually take this on. I've seen them, but I haven't met them myself. Because people who listen, like people who get what I'm about to give you, like when people who get on this game, those are the people you're looking up to right now. I promise you. There's somebody out there that you look up to, you admire for some reason. I don't care who it is. It could be a celebrity, it could be somebody you know personally. It doesn't matter. Somebody you look up to is in the position they're in because of what I'm about to share with you. I promise you. This is the type of this is the type of knowledge that will change your life if you will let it. Okay. We just talked about everything being energy. But I think sometimes because we learn it at such a young age in school, and I homeschool my kids, so I mean, I talk about this all the time. But I want you to go back to your childhood and the conversation you had about energy and the flow of energy and the states of energy and the states of matter and the properties of matter. I want you to go back and think about how old you were. Then I want you to come forward into your life and I want you to remember how many times have you had that conversation since you first had it in elementary school. Likely not very often. So when I say everything is energy, everything's made up of energy particles, you hear what I'm saying, but you're not present to the reality of the words coming out of my mouth. So I'm going to say it again. By the way, I'm drinking sparkling water because I know you guys care. I'll say it again. Everything is made up of energy particles. Every single thing. All of it. But you really got to get that. See, when I say that, think about this. When I say what I say, check this out. I say everything is made of energy particles vibrating at different frequencies. Particles that vibrate fast, vibrate at a higher frequency, and some things can vibrate so fast and move at such a high frequency we can't even see them anymore. Think about this is going to be accessible, a hummingbird's wings. You see the bird, but their wings are beating so fast, it's like you really can't see their wings when they're beating, okay? And then there are things that vibrate at such a low frequency, it's almost like they're not moving at all, almost like they can't move no matter what. And you got to think of a rock, right? Because rocks are made of energy. Rocks are made of energy particles just like that hummingbird is made of energy particles. They're just vibrating at different frequencies. So the rock is heavy and hard and solid. And it, you with me, right? Same with the hummingbird wings. It's vibrating at a certain frequency. And so it looks like this, but as soon as the hummingbird lands and the wings stop moving, you can see the wings just fine because they're there. The hummingbird slows them down enough for you to see them. So, standing there, we could put to the case that humans see things with lower frequency way easier than humans see things that are of a higher frequency. The higher frequency is just, it moves too fast for us to see. I mean, it's when you break it down to hummingbird and rock, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? And that's the other thing. The higher something vibrates, another reason we don't see it as easily is because it's vibrating so fast, it kind of becomes transparent to us. Whereas things that are vibrating at a very low frequency are quite opaque to us. Okay. So again, everything is energy. It's all energy. There's nothing that's not energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can change form. I mean, water can be ice or steam or water. It can change form, but you can't destroy it. Everything that constitutes life as we know it is made up of energy. This includes your thoughts. Your thoughts are made up of energy. They're just vibrating at a frequency that doesn't allow you to see your thoughts. And you can get to a point where you can feel your thoughts. Those of us who are psychic, those of us who are like psychically gifted, we feel thoughts. Some of us are clairvoyant. Some of us can see them. Some of us can see what you're thinking. That is real. Okay. It's there. It's there to be seen. It's just not easily seen by humans because we see that which is of a lower vibration more easily. Why, you may be asking? That's a conversation we'll have in another episode. For this episode, we're focusing on your thoughts, the quality of your thoughts, and how impactful your thoughts are to how you invest the currency and spend the currency. Your thoughts are literally determining the quality of your currency. So it's like you go to the market and you're like, okay, I got some gold. And they're like, okay, what's the quality? What's the purity of your gold? How pure is it? We're paying for purity here. I mean, so is it like 10 karat gold? What you working with? It's 10% gold and 90% alloy. Like what you got? Okay, that stuff is cool for jewelry. That's cool. That's cool. We can pay you on that 10. But if you had 100, we could definitely pay you for that 100 too. Okay, your friend's got 24 karat. Okay, that's cool. 24. That's nice. Okay, I tell you what, we're gonna pay you for this 24. But it would have been cool if you had 100. What else you got? Your thoughts. The quality of your thoughts are absolutely determining the quality of your investments and your ability to effectively spend your currency so that you gain more currency. When we think about business, we know it's smart to invest. As a business owner, I know a couple things, right? Like my business should buy that, and when I make this money, this percent of it should go back into the business, right? Those kind of rules that we know these things. Consider your energy is the same way. When you wake up in the morning, you have 100% energy. I want you, oh my God, imagine you're a sim. Oh my God, please do this. Come on, y'all, have fun with me. Imagine you're a sim and every morning you wake up, there's a health bar above your head. And listen, you really have to know what increases your health. because it's different for everybody. Yeah. We all need food, shelter, clothing. That part we get. But that's just your basics. You really do want to know what nourishes your soul. There's your health bar and then there's your happiness bar. Your health bar can be full, but your happiness bar can be low. You can have a car, a job, a house, a family, and be depressed as hell. Like those are two different things. So, excuse me, sparkling water. You gotta know for yourself what fills that happiness meter. Okay? And that's a separate conversation from, oh, if I have a job and I can pay my bills. Yes, we understand that's your root chakra. We understand once your root chakra is happy. However, what's going to light up your heart? Really, I'm really asking you to pull yourself and hold yourself in this higher frequency and higher vibration. So I also want you to begin to kick around now. Okay, my thoughts are made of energy. The quality of my thoughts are determining my investing currency and my spending of currency. Okay, so how do I improve the quality of my thoughts, and what behavior should I avoid that are going to decrease the quality of my thoughts, right? So this is where it gets really, really interesting. When you talk about increasing the quality of your thoughts, it really is as simple as, I love it. It's so Peter Pan. Oh my God. That song, my God, are great. Think of a wonderful thing. It's the same as having wings. Think of rainbows, think of snow, think of something off the go, like something in the sky. You can fly, you can fly, you can fly. Peter Pan, y'all. Old school. Think of all the joy you'll find when you leave your cares behind. But it's like that. It's personal to you. And if you know that original Peter Pan from Disney from back in the day, where they're trying to teach Wendy and John and Michael how to fly, Peter and the Lost Boys and Tinkerbell had a problem. But anyway, first you need the fairy dust. But then you had to think of a wonderful thing. So I want to offer you that as okay, well, you know, how do I increase the quality of my thoughts? Then that's, um, think good thoughts. It's in the Bible, but I felt like that was a little too obvious. So we went with Peter Pan. I hope that was supportive. But, there is that part of the Bible that says, finally, my brethren, whatsoever things are lovely, pure, have a good report, think on these things. Think on these things. Why talk about what to think about? Well, because it matters. Your thoughts are literally flavoring. It's giving the hue, the timbre, the tone. If your currency were a wine, your thoughts is what would develop the palate of your wine. Okay? So it would be the aroma of your cheese if you were a cheese. Whatever your thing is, your thoughts are making it so. So what do we how do you make sure your thoughts stay good? Same thing looking in the other direction. Be responsible for what enters your thought field. And it really is elementary. Watch what be cautious about what you're watching on television. Be cautious about what you're reading in social media. Be cautious about who you're allowing to speak into your life. It can sound like, oh my gosh, I mean, just take the fun out of everything. And without those type of boundaries in place, it can be impossible to transcend the bullshit. And that's what I was saying earlier. When you look up to somebody, you admire them, you're like, oh my God, that person has their shit together, they're fucking shit. At some point, I promise you, they had to put these kind of boundaries in place, boundaries around their mind, around their mind. A couple episodes ago, we talked about being immune in every area of your life. One of my personal favorite practices, you guys know I'm a practitioner of the old religion. I'm very open about that. One of my favorite practices is strengthening my mental shields, making sure that my mind is ready because so much of spiritual warfare, the mind is the battlefield, you guys. Depression and anxiety, 83% of Americans, this is 2016, 83% of Americans were on some type of medication for depression and anxiety. Let me tell you, that's real. That there is a war happening for our souls. It is a spiritual war. The battleground is our mind, and our emotions are being weaponized against us. And I will say it again until it is no longer true. I will call it out until we create something new. Okay? And that's what our story is right now. That's what it is to be human right now until we do something else. And that something else is what I'm asking you to do in this episode of the Sacred and Profane podcast. I am asking you to become intentional and responsible for the quality of your thoughts. I'm asking you to go back with me to Peter Pan and think of a wonderful thing. It's the same as having wings. I'm not asking you to ignore reality. I'm not asking you to be fake positive. I'm not asking you to be pie in the sky. I'm asking you to be responsible for your thoughts. Example, you wake up on Monday morning, you get yourself ready for work, you go out to your car, and the car doesn't start. You can either catastrophize, and it's the end of the world, and you should have known you got sold a piece of junk, and then you're just gonna be pissed at everybody because oh my God, this is one more thing and one last thing and all the things and all the things, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Or B, you can call into work and say, hey, I'm having car problems. This is my plan to remedy the problem. This is how long I expect it'll take. This is when you can expect me in the office. If something changes, I'll let you know. I'll see you soon. Those are your options. Those are your options. Now, some of you may be like, well, listen, babe, I wake up and my car don't work. That's a sign from God. I ain't got to go. Okay? That's fine. That's fine. But you get my point. In every moment, the choice is up to you how you think about what's in front of you. Your thoughts are actually giving you your emotions. So you really, really want to be really mindful of your thoughts because your emotions are what activate your manifesting power. So you need the currency of your emotions. Let me tell you, by the time when you have a thought, that's like energy in its raw primal form. It doesn't even have any form, it doesn't have any shape. It's just a thought, right? And then you allow that thought to drop down out of your mind into your body and you begin to orient some feelings around that sucker. All right. Yeah, I love that person or I hate that person. Like whatever it is, okay? You let that thought come into your body and you wrap it in emotion. You add more energy to it. Now it's got mental energy and emotional energy. Okay. And it's now out of your mind in your physical body, moving through your body, the tension in your shoulders, the shortness of your breath, the tightness of your chest, the tingling in your fingers, the twitch in your leg, the dull headache behind your eyes. And now you will take action. You will stop that conversation. You will put your foot on the brake of the car. You will put your foot on the gas of the car. You will walk out of the room. You will stay home. You will call out of work. Like whatever it is now all of that thought is now action. And that's how it works. So when your thoughts are of a high quality, and remember, high quality isn't good. High quality is what is high quality for you. Okay. This is really, really important. I can't stress this enough. You cannot use the thoughts of somebody else. You have to use your thoughts. Okay. So I'm going to let you sit with what I've offered you because it's a lot and we're going to stop the conversation here. But more than anything, what I want you left with is left in the discovery of what's your thing? Like what are wonderful thoughts for you? What do your good thoughts look like? You know, mine involves a beach in Costa Rica. What does yours involve? Mine involves a butt ton of books. I love reading books. What about you? And it's not just, oh, okay, I like candy. It's no. What, when you think about it, just takes you to your happy place, okay? Listen, thank you for joining me for another episode of the Sacred and Profane podcast. You guys are amazing. I really, really, really love joining in with you in these conversations. And this conversation is deep. We're going to come back. We're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper with it. So, humor me, do this first bit because when we come back again for the next episode, I'm going to ask you to keep that thought with you because we're going to, in real time, work that thought into an action so that you really can grasp that your thoughts are creating a reality, okay? All right. No matter where you are, no matter when you are, remember, trust your process, your path, and your purpose. Ashe.